Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm out on another walk, although this walk is an interior walk, although I'm starting outside. Look at these rather magnificent houses. I'm at the Regency Town House in Brunswick Square in Hove, near Brighton, down on the south coast. And I've been given a bit of an exclusive, and I'm very thrilled to meet up with the very lovely Paul Couchman.
Hello.
Hello, Paul.
Hello.
Who is the historic food creator
Indeed.
and social media
That's
expert
right.
here at the Regency House.
Indeed.
And you're going to take me on a privileged guided tour.
You're going to see the house as our visitors see it. Indeed.
Fantastic. Well, it's cold out here. Shall we go in?
It's freezing.
Yeah. I'll follow you.
Okay, sure.
So we've got the front of the house. This is what? Tell me.
Should I describe
describe
the colour actually?
Well, first of all, how old is the house?
Okay, so the houses in the square were built between about 1827 1831. It was done in phases.
Right.
So we're not quite sure the exact date of the house, but it is roughly from that period. And I was going to tell you about the colour.
Yes.
This is a big thing. If you
They're
look around,
all this sort of very bold yellow, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's sort of Hove cream.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Is that the proper
There's
name?
an official name to it. Yeah, Hove cream.
Hove cream.
And you can buy it in the shop.
Oh, can you? Well, I
It'd
bet
have to be really. Yeah.
They sell a lot of it, I
They
imagine,
do.
don't
Every
they?
5 years the houses get painted by
A contractor?
They have to be, yeah.
All at the same time.
That's the idea.
Right.
So if you look round, they're all in roughly the same state of paint.
Yes.
So every 4 or 5 years they get repainted.
Because it would look awful if
Yeah.
it was very patchy.
It has been in the past. So basically in the 1940s they decided to go for one colour.
So what was it originally then?
Sort of biscuity brown colour.
Oh, okay.
So if you can imagine, it was the render was a sort of biscuity brown colour. And the doors were in oak, so they were oak wood grained. And these railings here, that's a sort of greeny colour as well. So all the colours
right.
you see now are
Yeah,
wrong.
are completely wrong for the period.
Exactly.
Right.
And you can imagine the whole square in a sort of different colours. It would look a lot more peaceful. The Hove cream's quite loud, isn't it?
It is.
I mean,
it's dramatic and it has a statement, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely got a statement.
I mean, it's good that everything is uniform.
Yeah.
Because you imagine if all the houses were different
Yeah.
colours.
No. I mean, that's what makes it so striking.
But it's not the right colour.
No.
And, yeah. I mean, it irritates us.
And the thing is, Paul, you saying it's not the right colour, as we're going to find out, because I've had a little sneaky peek, being authentic and genuine is very much the nature of this project.
So ethos behind the project,
Yeah.
absolutely. Doing things as they should have been done, as they
Okay.
were done, and as
Okay.
they should be done.
Well, I'm very eager to see inside, so let's go in.
Sure.
So what we're going to see is not the polished house
Absolutely
in
not.
its final stage of what it would have looked like. We're seeing this project, which I think you said started in something like 1984.
1984. Nick Tyson bought the basement in 1984.
Good God.
And then he bought all the flats above.
And
It became empty.
and through volunteer help, you are restoring this back to what it would have looked like in the 1830s.
Exactly, right when it was first
First
lived in.
Gosh, well, so where are you going to take me first of all? We're standing in the hallway with a lovely bit of detail up there with the fan.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
Fan lights, yeah,
fan lights.
absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, stunning stained glass. Not every house has something different here.
Yes.
We're very lucky. We've got this beautiful stained glass there. And if you can imagine, we were talking about the light, the way the light comes in about 4 or 5 o'clock.
Right.
But you can imagine the light coming in
Oh
from
yeah,
there,
yeah,
shining in through.
Where are you going to take me first?
I'll
Because it's a
take you
huge
first
property.
to the dining room.
To the dining room.
Yeah,
Okay.
So you've got the principal entertaining space.
The principal dining space. Entertaining space. I beg your pardon. Yes.
This is where your guests would have come and seen how wealthy you were.
And these houses, which you just say, because you said to me earlier, these houses are not necessarily occupied the whole year round. These are for people who are very wealthy,
Yeah.
have a country house,
A London address.
a London address, and this is just, their token, almost their token house
Yep.
down in Brighton, or in Hove actually, as everyone calls it these days.
Indeed.
But it's all about the money.
It's all about the money. It's all about showing off.
Showing off and
So-
keeping up with the Joneses well, not keeping up, going better than the Joneses, so to speak.
Well, yeah, and if you look in every detail in this room, money's been spent.
Yes.
And people who came and visited the house would know that.
Yes.
So if you look above to the, what we got here, so the cornicing around the edge there.
Yeah.
If you go to earlier Georgian houses, the cornicing's quite small, quite delicate,
Oh, I see.
quite subtle. And if you look up here, it's very brash and big.
It's very bold. So people coming in, you know, your neighbours and friends and the people you're trying to influence, I guess no one's actually saying anything, but their eyes are looking.
Exactly.
Yeah. Amazing. So this was principal. The dining room. This is the dining space. So somewhere in here, a big table.
Right down the middle here, a great big table for about 22, 24 people.
Wow.
Up at the end there would have been a sideboard. Food would have been served on that as well. Silverware. Underneath a cellaret for your wine, just keep it cold. Nice touch. A few side tables, some hunting scenes, some pictures of hunting scenes on the wall, because that was considered the right decor for a room like this. I should say something about this colour as well, of course, because people are going to notice.
Yeah. What would you call it? It's a sort of...
we call it pink, cherry blossom.
Cherry blossom.
That's original, and we know that it's this colour. I mean, I should say we haven't just made this up.
No.
If you can do this at home if you've got a very old house as well. You get a piece of sandpaper, and you can sand down all the layers of your paint. What you have to do in the middle is sand right down to the plaster. So if that's really important, you've got to work out where the plaster starts.
Oh, and see the history of the paint.
It's sort of paint archaeology.
Gosh.
Yes, you go for all the different layers. It's roughly between 5 and 7 years between each layer. That's what we reckon. And so you can see all the colours it's been up until when they started putting wallpaper on, actually. So you've got a whole history here.
Got a whole history.
Yeah. And so we know that it was this sort of colour, and so we painted it this colour now.
That's staggering. Yeah. That's staggering. Wow. Not only are you restoring the house, but while you're restoring the house, you open it up to the public and you have days where you take guided tours, a bit like what I'm doing here.
Exactly. We don't get any funding from the restoration. So the restoration we have to fund by doing events. So for example, I did a great big dining event here. So we recreated a Regency dining experience. And then we had a great big white tablecloth, a white table, chairs, guests dressed up in their finery. We even hired some people in to act as butlers, and they were in period. So once they came in, they said, "This is 1831," and the guests had to pretend that they were in that time as well.
Right. So where are you going to take me next, Paul?
We're going to go up to the drawing room.
Oh, fantastic!
Well, the drawing rooms, I should say.
Oh, the drawing rooms. Yeah. Lead on. Because it's a terraced house, you have the staircases, and in this case, taking up a fair part of the house. Yeah, indeed. So a lot of climbing people would have had to have done. Absolutely. Up and down. And not just the owners, of course. You've got all those servants who are looking after the owners, clambering up and down, although perhaps not these staircases, maybe at the back.
Well, we've got two sets of staircases. So, I mean, right through there, right at the very back there would have been a back staircase. Right. So that's where a lot of the servants would have done things like coal and chamber pots, those sort of things that you didn't really want to see on the main staircase.
No, of course, if you've got important people coming in.
So it's all hidden away at the back.
Yes. Yeah.
Where out of view. And we've heard reports that some of the servants never actually saw their employers. So they would go up and down these staircases, service the bedrooms.
And never saw the employer.
For 7 years, you could never see your employer.
It's amazing.
This is the drawing room.
So this is the drawing room. And of course it's all being beautifully restored. I mean, the thing that, when you said 1984, the thing that just takes your breath away, or that makes your mind go blank, is the amount of time it's taking to do that. We're in 2018 as we film this. What's the when do you think it'll be finished?
We've not finished that at the moment. It really depends on funding, really. Right. I mean, how much money we can get. And Nick Tyson, who runs the project, is very keen not to do some sort of replica of a house. It has to be authentic. It has to be done in the right way. And what we're doing now, if you look at the wood grain that's happening here, all the skirting, all the woodwork in this room would be wood grained like this. And basically it's replication of satin wood. So it's supposed to look like satin wood. Yeah. It's a fake wood finish. It's a painted wood finish. People would have known that it was painted wood.
So yes, it's not that you're just making it look fake.
No,
that's how they had it.
That's exactly how they would have had it. Yeah, exactly.
Let me just walk around a little bit to get a bit of an idea of the size of this room, because it's a colossal property. I live in a little terraced two up, two down place. This is somewhat grander than my place by a long chalk. The windows here, as you can see, look out onto the square there, which, as we're looking towards, I think, the west, we get in the evening you'd have the sun coming in, streaming into this room. So when you acquired the house, clearly it wasn't in the state of its period, and you've been slowly tearing out what was here and putting stuff back.
Exactly. I mean, for example, over there, that space there was divided up into 3 spaces. There was a corridor, a bathroom, and a kitchen.
So it was like flats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a doorway through there back to another room. It's all been taken away now. So that room's got its original proportions back again.
You told me earlier, if we look back towards this wall, you've got patches. You've got 3 slightly brown patches, and you were explaining to me that in the day these were these panels, I suppose, they were papered.
That's right, yeah. And again, the paper would have been changed according to fashion, according to whim. So maybe for one party you'd have one decoration, and for another one you take it all done again, get the decorator again, put the latest fashion up.
Wow. No expense.
No expense spares, no.
The amount of research then that's gone into this, I mean, you've clearly been doing lots of reading and studying and stuff.
Yes.
Because, as I said at the beginning, your main thing is historical food. But
that's right.
On a project like this, you cannot help but just pick up information and...
Well, it's what lots of people say, that you pick up... Almost for osmosis, you just pick things up. You learn about their history just from people talking about it sometimes. And that's what's so very exciting about this project, is you can learn so much just by being around people.
You've got 2 basements because they're not one under each other. Should make that clear. Yes. You've purchased a second house's basement, as it were.
That's right.
Yeah. So to get there, we have to go back outside. But, ladies and gentlemen, there's something special. I've had a sneak preview of it. There is something special about this particular basement, which I'm very excited for Paul to show us. Oh. So we're back along, but it's only a couple of streets along.
Yeah, it's not far.
Not far. Down at number 10.
It's chilly, isn't it?
Yeah, the temperature has certainly dropped.
I love this place. I mean, this is my favourite bit of the house.
Look at this, ladies and gentlemen.
I dare to stand on it.
So this is a room that's virtually finished.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And this is the housekeeper's room.
Housekeeper's room, yeah. So the housekeeper is the senior member of the servants, high in the hierarchy. And the room is dressed in a better way than the other servants, just to show the other servants that this woman had status.
Yes. Wow.
So you can see it in the way it's decorated, the way it's painted, the way it's furnished, the nice little carpet that's gone down on the floor now.
Yes, you've literally just put this carpet down there. You've finished sewing it together.
That's right, the volunteers have sewed it together. There's 2 panels and then put the edging on. Yeah. So
it isn't amazing. I suppose, when you live in a modern furnished house that's warm with big carpets and wall-to-wall carpets, I should say, and central heating and all of that, and then you come in here and you go, well, this is it. And then this is quite palatial, particularly for a servant, I suppose.
Indeed.
It is still quite stark. There's a certain starkness to it.
Yeah.
You've got the fire in the far end. You've got a lock-up cupboard.
Yeah, lots of lock-up cupboards. And again, it's to keep the valuables away from the other servants. It's got lock-up cupboard there, lock-up cupboard there. You see, they've all got locks there.
Oh yeah.
Great big behind you. There's a walk-in cupboard there as well.
A walk-in cupboard for all the household linens and.
Absolutely, yeah. Soaps, all sorts of things are kept in there.
Gosh, it's
amazing.
amazing.
To walk on it because we actually are allowed to walk on it. I've made some bread as well for the housekeeper.
Oh yes.
A while back. I wouldn't eat it now.
No.
So I gave her some bread as well.
Oh.
It's one of the first things I did when we finished the room.
And this is sort of authentic breads that they would have had.
Absolutely, yeah. So I even made it with the same flour.
Did you?
Some heritage variety flour.
Good God.
Yeah. Nobody would know that.
No, but you know that. That's the key thing. Yes. Gosh, and look at those pegs.
They're fabulous, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, what an amazing room. So ultimately, all of the whole house will be finished and furnished like this. So this is one big box you've managed to tick off.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it sort of gives us an idea of what all the other rooms will look like.
Yes.
And especially visitors, because visitors come and say, when is it going to be finished?
Yes.
Every time we come.
People are so impatient.
Well, like, I mean, they just want it finished,
Yeah.
obviously. But this is the template. This is how everything's going to look eventually.
Right.
Yeah.